Today we start reading about Sonia Sotomayor in the series Women Who Broke the Rules. A girl grows up in a tough neighborhood. Her poor immigrant parents don't speak English and don't get along. She tackles a serious illness and rises to become one of the country's guiding lights. How did Sonia Sotomayor do that? My sister, her younger brother said, was tough as nails. He would know. She beat him up all the time. But she was also his protector at school. Anyone who wanted to pick on him had to fight her first. I've spent my whole life, Sonia once wrote, learning how to do things that were hard for me. Life was hard almost from the time she was born on June 25, 1954, in the Bronx, part of New York City. She grew up in red brick public housing projects for people with little money. Sonia was so feisty as a toddler that her nickname was Ahi, or hot pepper. Her parents worried that too much energy would get her in trouble. Both parents had left all their family and friends behind in Puerto Rico. A group of islands in the Caribbean Sea, Puerto Rico is not a state, yet. It has belonged to the United States since 1898 and is the poorest territory under its rule. Many of its Spanish-speaking people have moved away in search of better lives. Sonia's mother worked as a nurse. Her father worked in a factory. The couple mostly fought. Angry about her husband's alcoholism, Sonia's mother worked longer and longer hours away from home. Sonia's safety zone was her grandmother's apartment. It smelled like the garlic and onions that went into sofrito, the spicy Puerto Rican sauce. Her abuelita's encouragement helped Sonia imagine the most improbable of possibilities for my life. Sonia faced her hardest challenge at age 7. One day she fainted in church. She was hospitalized and underwent horribly painful tests. The diagnosis, alas, was diabetes. The doctor explained that her body wasn't producing enough of a chemical called insulin. Every day to stay alive, she would have to have insulin injections. But Sonia's father's hands trembled, and her mother was seldom home, so she learned how to give herself the shots. She practiced injecting an orange at first. Soon she was a pro, relieved that she didn't have to bother her parents. The last thing I wanted was for them to fight about me, she said later. Diabetes sometimes cuts lives short. Sonia had a feeling that she had no time to waste. Even at an early age, she wanted goals. Her father died when she was 9. Her mother worked longer hours than ever to support herself and her 2 young children. The children's education became her mother's obsession. She made a point of speaking only English with them at home, and at great sacrifice, she bought them every single volume of the Encyclopedia Britannica. With its detailed pictures and information, it expanded Sonia's horizons. She started hanging out at the library. Her favorite books were the Nancy Drew mysteries, with the girl detective who risks danger to solve crimes. Nancy broke rules that usually kept girls on the sidelines. She was active, outspoken, brainy, and not afraid to show it. Sonia was set on being a detective like Nancy, a real one on a police force. She seemed to meet the requirements. I was a keen observer and listener. I picked up on clues. I figured things out logically, and I enjoyed puzzles. Her doctor squashed that plan. At the time, police detective was on the list of jobs too active for someone with diabetes. Sonia didn't give up. She also adored Perry Mason, a TV courtroom drama. Our legal system is so complex that people need lawyers, experts in the law, to help. Perry was a wise lawyer who seldom lost a case. Sonia saw attorneys as heroes, arguing, solving problems with brain power, using the law to right wrongs. Plus, Perry usually worked safely inside a courtroom. Perfect. I was going to college, she said, and I was going to become an attorney, and I knew that when I was 10. One day, a Perry Mason episode ended with a shot of the judge and in charge of the trial. I realized that the judge was the most important player in the room, she said. He, it was always a man, was the boss of everyone, even the lawyers. How does a person even become a judge? Sonia had no idea, but it was probably going to involve breaking some rules.